from the heart of the valley, where stories echo across generations. This is Tiger Times.
Welcome back to Tiger Times, your hometown podcast sharing the stories, history, and happenings of Tabiona and our valley. I'm your host, Haley Ficklin.
And I'm Savannah Bowman.
Before we jump into our wonderful interview with everyone's favorite, Mr. Charlie Strebel, owner of the Sagebrush Inn, let's start with this week's news.
This week, we stumbled across an article from the Uinta Basin Standard dated August 2nd, 1989. It's titled, Tabiona Baby Girl Benefits from the Love of 15 Grandparents. As a young child growing up, grandparents are often a special bonus in life, always ready to give you love and a little extra attention. That being the case, Michaela Strebel, Tabiona, has a lot of love and attention in store in the coming years, since she enjoys the unusual blessing of 15 grandparents. Michaela is the daughter of Wendy and Jerry Strebel. At her birth on April 26, 1989, she had 7 grandfathers and 8 grandmothers. All lived close enough to visit her when she was flown by helicopter from Roosevelt, where she was born, to Primary Children's Medical Center in Salt Lake City due to some complications at birth. The nursing staff at the All Children Acute Care facility expressed amazement at all of Michaela's visitors, declaring that they had never seen so many grandparents for one little girl. Michaela bears another distinction. She is the first great-great-grandchild for both sets of the third-generation grandparents. She is also the first grandchild and great-grandchild. In other words, she is a first for all the 3 descending generations. The experience of having so many grandparents is rare in itself, but with her additional phenomenon as the first, this child stands a better than average chance of growing up feeling extraordinary and unique. Michaela's grandparents are Mr. and Mrs. Charlie Strebel and Mr. and Mrs. Max Fabrizio, both from Tabiona. Her 4 sets of great-grandparents include Mr. and Mrs. Art Fabrizio, Vernal, Mr. and Mrs. Bud Young, Tabiona, Mr. and Mrs. Henry Strebel, and Mr. and Mrs. Heber Smith, both of Salt Lake City. Her great-great-grandparents are Mr. and Mrs. Burt Young, Duchesne, and Miss Merle Humes, Riverton. These are fun articles that we find each week, and what an amazing time to be born for Michaela, to have 15 grandparents. To start off our roundup for the week, we'd like to talk about volleyball all-staters. So, for Tabiona Tigers this year in volleyball, Peyton Pippy made first team All-State, Cadence Pippy made second team, and third team was Reagan Bateman. They all did a tremendous job. Congratulations, girls, on making All-State.
Our Lady Tigers absolutely lit up the court last week, routing the Monticello Buckaroos 69-16. Tabiona dominated with a huge 24-point second quarter, locking in a strong halftime lead. Top performers for the Tigers: Joy Giants, 18 points and 3 3-pointers. Talia Allred, 6 points with 2 3-pointers. Strong teamwork across the board. The Tabby Tigers now stand at 2-0. Savannah, tell me what your thoughts are on the games that we watched Tuesday night.
Starting out with the girls' game, well, they had a little bit of a slow start, but once they got a little bit of a lead, it was like full throttle at that point, and they never looked back after mid-second quarter. See a lot of talent in these girls. They pushed the floor. They played tough defense. And yeah, again, it just goes back to we're in for a treat this year with these girls. I mean, all around. And on to the boys' game. In the boys' game, Tabiona rallied late to take down Monticello 49-45. It came down to the fourth quarter and the boys showed grit. Top performers was Rocky Rhodes with 19 points and Jackson Olsen with 17 points, including 4 3-pointers. Boys improved their record to 2-1.
I will say that I am impressed with this team. I think they're new playing together. I'm excited to see them grow and work together. I love watching these freshman boys and how excited they are for basketball. And I think everyone that has grown up in Tabiona, has anything to do with Tabiona, knows that basketball season is a highlight.
Yeah, it was a great game. You know, there's early mistakes that we're going to make, but I hope that we can get those cleaned up a little bit as the season progresses. Where it's only our third game, I'm not too worried. We're making these same mistakes in about 10 games, I'll be a little more concerned. But, we cleaned it up at the end and pulled out a win. Those games that get tight down to the end are hard to win mentally. It kind of comes down to a game at that point. They just kept pushing back. It was good to see them come out on top. We hope everyone had a happy Thanksgiving and enjoyed some really delicious food and spent some quality time with family as we did. Also, it was our grandma's 86th birthday this last week. So happy birthday, Grandma. We love you.
And we want to follow up from our interview with Elfrida. We stopped by to visit Elfrida again, and she pulled out a book from the 1947 class reunion. She knew every single name in the old photos from the yearbooks. It was honestly the sweetest thing. Take time to stop in, visit her, and hear her stories. These are the voices of the Valley, and we're honored to share them here.
And with that being said, we give you our voice of the Valley for this week, Charlie Strebel.
What's your birthday?
August 18th of 43. I'm not 82.
Where were you born at?
Oh, like,
You were raised out there?
yep, I was raised in a little tiny town of Garfield. Kennecott owned the town.
How many brothers and sisters do you have?
3 sisters and 1 brother. 5 of them.
Are any of them still living today?
All of them except my oldest, she passed away.
What did your family do for a living growing up?
Kennecott Copper, my dad, and my mother worked for this junior detention center. It's all like
Where did you go to school then?
a little school. It's gone now, Blaine School. It was on 33rd and Main Street. And I went to Central Junior High, which is no longer there either. And then I went to Granger High. The first year it was built, 1959. Since they've tore it down and made a whole new school.
You graduated from Granger?
No, sir, I didn't.
Did you graduate?
No,
You didn't want to do school anymore?
no, I just had enough of it. I told Mom and Dad, I'm not going back. They said, yeah, you are. And I said, no, I'm tired of it. I said, all they do is tell you the same stuff over again. I want to go to work.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to sit and listen to that stuff again. And honestly, I've never needed it my whole life. A lot of people, well, you can't gonna do nothing. You ain't gonna be nobody. You won't get a job. Never, ever, ever stopped me. So I went right to work. I went right to work in a service station.
What did you do at the service station?
Just fix tires and sold gas. You know what you do in a regular service station. Back in them days, you wipe their windows, you check their oil, check their tires and all that. You went out, you served them.
Tell us the story about running sheep in the Camas area.
No, I worked over there when I still in school. And my uncle had a ranch over on South Fork of Weaver. And I went up and I irrigated for him and his brother-in-law. Then I rode the horse over the hill and went to work on a dude ranch, rented horses and in Lake Lodge. And I did that for about 3 summers when I was in school.
Is that when you learned to love ranching?
Even before that, yeah. I knew I didn't ever want to live in Salt Lake. The guy I worked for in Hidden Lake Lodge, he come out here and bought Chris Yanson's place up there where I'm at. And I come out occasionally to see him just because when I was a kid, I worked for him. He told me that place below me there, that guy wants to sell. He might be interested. So I thought, what the hell, I'll try it and see what he might want and all that. He was able to say, yeah, I want to sell it. 63, so I was 20 years old when I bought it. He says, I'll carry the papers on it. I'll finance, in other words. But he says, we think your dad had signed in case something happened? I says, I think so. And he said, yeah, I think if something went haywire, we'd probably sell it and we'd get hurt. I was able to buy it that way. And of course, I paid for it through the years, was able to pay for it. So I had it for about 11 years before I come out here. When I come out here, I'd been working on that old house, remodeling it on the weekends when we'd come out, the family, bring the kids in, and I'd do a little work on it. And then in 74, the oil field started. And Joe Curry said the guy that he was working for said that he's going to get another truck. You want to come out? And I said, heck yeah. Tell him I'll be out. I quit my job down there and come finish the house. So it wasn't finished, but it was livable. My wife was going to divorce me.
She wasn't happy about it?
No, because I took her out of a brand new home in Salt Lake. I told her a long time ago, I'm not going to live here my whole life. Some way, somehow, I'm going to get out of here. So she was a little upset about it. But after she was here, you can drug her out of here.
So how did you and Sharon meet?
On a kind of a blind date, a kid I knew, I was working at that station, and he says that my girlfriend's got a friend. I said, call me. Anyway, I did. Went out with her and kind of liked her, so just kind of kept going together. And finally, got married. Doesn't know what you do.
Yeah. How many children did you have?
8, 4 and 4, 4 boys, 4 girls.
How many kids did you have by the time you moved to Tabiona?
I think the only one born out here was Susanna. She's a baby.
So you moved out here and started driving truck.
Yep.
How did you acquire the sagebrush, or what got you doing that?
I drove truck for 10 years. My wife Sharon was working here off and on, and Shirley Hanrat bought it. She leased it to Winona left her for a while. Sharon worked for Winona quite a bit, so she was kind of inside that this guy wanted to sell it. I did the same thing with her. She said, if you want it, she said, I'll carry it because I don't know whether you can get the money or not, because I was still fairly young and I had the big family and I wasn't 100% stable yet. So anyway, she did, and that's how we wound up here.
And what year did you buy the sage?
85. It was 40 years here, Labor Day weekend this year. I found out, why people go broke the first 5 years. It is really a struggle. Thank goodness I had my wife and my girls, because I would have never made it.
They all helped and worked at the sage.
Yep.
Would you go back and do it again?
No. I don't know. Times has changed so much that now you can't find a kid to work. I had my girls and I had Misty Leffler and her younger sister. I called her Mugger. They worked for me for 4 or 5 years. You could count on them. They were dependable. I always had a list of girls, at least 5 girls who wanted a job. Maybe I shouldn't say this, but I blame the parents a lot today, the way kids are. Even my girls, I wouldn't buy them a car. All my boys, I would not buy them a car. You want a car, you work for it. You can get a car right there. Just work a few extra hours, quit spending all your money, get a good down payment. Maybe co-sign with you, but I will not buy you a car. But nowadays, they got a car, they got a debit card or a credit card. They pay for their telephone, they pay for the car, buy insurance, give them gas. I look at it and say, well, maybe I wouldn't have worked either. But parents shouldn't make them work. They can learn more right here than they learn over there, I guarantee you. They don't know how to greet people. They go up and scared to death, or their head hung down. Do you want something? They'll get in here. Boys are just bad. They get in here and they won't even sit. So somebody brought me that sign.
The sign says, we do not have Wi-Fi. Pretend it's 1990. Talk to each other.
They don't. I mean, they're sitting right there together and every one of them's on their phone. Well, I guess it's a good thing you die because I can't get over it. I can't get over the fact that kids will not work. And that's parents. A lot of parents, they're just young ones. They've got to have a life. Well, of course they do. But they got to learn something, too.
Yes.
Well, I've said a lot many times, we're the only species on the face of yours that don't teach our kids nothing no more. That work is something to be proud of, not be ashamed of. I mean, they can learn how to greet people, how to count money, how to be a little self-motivated and be able to clean and do a lot of different things. But I think that's why our society today is so screwed up. They're spoiled. They don't want to get married. They don't want obligation. They just want to maybe go to work if they're lucky and just come home.
No responsibility.
And then if they get in one big fight, they just both get their own way, so they split. Take the kids home to grandma and grandpa.
You raised 8 kids. That's a big family.
Then they had Troy Ladenby for 4 years. After his dad died, him and Shane were just like this. So they conned me into having me live there during school. He lived with us for 4 years.
When you first moved here, who were like some of the people that welcomed you into the community, or was it an adjustment for you to move from the city to the country?
Not really. I just fit in good. I didn't have no trouble, really.
Who welcomed you into the community, became friends with?
Well, Joe Curry probably helped me more than anybody. Yeah, he's the one that really got me the job that was good enough where I figured I could come and support my family. Yeah, had that not have happened, I don't know what I might have wound up doing. I would have figured out a way to come out here.
So you wanted to be out in Tabiona?
I liked it real well. I just wanted out of the city.
Like, what made you want to never live there?
I guess the hustle bustle of it. And then me getting out in the country when I was younger. And my grandma had a little farm. And I loved staying with her because she had cows, she had pigs and chickens. In the summer, I liked to stay with her. I just liked that kind of life. I wanted to be kind of self-sufficient and have a little ground and maybe a few animals. That's, to me, was the way to raise kids, not to be in the city where you're limited to what they could do. And I don't know how you'd raise a kid now. Or even let them out of your sight. I can't tell my grandkids, my my kids, you don't know how lucky you are.
Yes.
You can raise your family right here. They can still get on their bikes. They can ride around. They can go over to the park.
Yeah.
You might worry a little bit, but any strange buddy keeps riding around in a car or something, he's going to be notified.
So who is the best BSer in town?
Charlie raised his hand.
No, I don't know. Even as a kid, I like to listen to old people. I remember at the lodge, to hear them talk about days before when that country kind of almost opened, But I don't know. Do you just talk about everything, or did you hear that so-and-so got shot in the foot, or so-and-so went to the hospital, or think somebody got in a wreck, or...
You get the news here first at the Sagebrush.
Yeah, somebody knows.
What are some of the things that you love about Tabiona and raising your family here, watching your grandkids grow up here?
Well, it's just what I wanted. I mean, it's a lifestyle I want. And then I get Jerry and them all, why don't you ever want to go? I said, well, when I found what I wanted here, I don't want to go. God, you're getting old, you ought to go on vacation. No, I don't want to go. When Mother was still alive, me and her and Weldon Brown, and we'd go down to Skeet for a few days, and hell, one night I'd ready to come home the next day.
So you've run the Sage since 1985.
Yeah.
What would be your best piece of advice that you would give to somebody that is trying to start a business or wanting to buy a business? What would be your advice as a business owner all these years?
Don't do it. I guess you go ahead. That's the only way you get ahead. If you don't try, once I had an old boy tell me, he said, you'll never know if you don't try. And if you didn't have nothing when you went in like this, I really only had my place up there, a job. He said, if you don't try, you'll never win. So if you get an opportunity, take it. It's like this. I thought, what the hell? If I survive, I survive. If I don't, I can give it back to her.
Mm-hmm.
She carried the papers on this for 5 years, and then I had to find financing. So I thought, I'll give it an honest try, 5 years, and if it works, it works. And if it don't, I can always just say, well, I tried. I don't know. Like I said, I got here. This is what I wanted, and that's the bottom line, really. Try it. If you got an opportunity, try it. If that's something you think you can do.
Did Sharon like running the Sage?
Yeah, because she'd worked here. She understood a lot about it, thank goodness, how it worked and all that. Toward the end there, she didn't. She got sick and couldn't do much. But when she was younger, yeah, she didn't mind it at all. Yeah.
I'll always remember her being right at that counter every time we walked in.
She worked a lot of days. We worked together a lot, because I'd be the waitress or whatever you wanted to call me.
So this is the question everybody wants us to ask, because everyone loves Charlie. Everyone loves coming to see Charlie. But who's your favorite customer?
Oh, my. I can't say who would be a favorite. No way.
But you do have a favorite?
No, I wouldn't dare say one.
Is there a funny memory you can remember of somebody maybe coming into town for the first time and coming in here and asking you some funny question or like, what is this place?
The funniest thing that probably happened not too many years ago, I was sitting right there on that chair and drinking some coffee, and some people comes out here. They was from Salt Lake, and that lady was with them was from back Tennessee, I think. And she looked at me, she said, can I take a picture of you sitting there? And I says, well, yeah, I guess. Go ahead, I said, what are you doing? She says, I'm entering a coloring contest, watercolor. And anyway, about, I don't know, 5, 6 months later, I look in the mail and that picture comes.
Oh, wow.
And she won first place.
Hasn't the Sagebrush been in the newspaper?
Well, they interviewed me about the road, the highway, and what I thought about it. I told them, honestly, I don't care. I said, to help me in business-wise, I guess I should really care, but I know what it's going to bring people and all that. But then again, you can't stop it. I got interviewed a couple times about that. I can't even remember what I said other than I said, well, I really don't care, and that shocked them.
So is there anything we have that you wanted to share about Sagebrush or coming to Tabiona or raising your family in Tabiona that we haven't asked you?
Not really, I guess. I can't think anything. Well, then I'm getting old and I'm getting kind of tired. I thank goodness I got some pretty good help. Everybody says sell it, get out of it. And I think, what the hell am I going to do? That's what killed you. You ain't got nothing to do.
Oh, yeah.
Even though I don't really get deep into it anymore, I enjoy coming down every morning because if I didn't run it, I'd still want to come and visit, have coffee, because that's the first thing I want is a cup of coffee. So I come down, I just so it gives you something to motivate you. The other day I had the whole day off Thanksgiving. Well, I'll just sit here and go in my easy chair and watch the news or something. I was nervous as heck. I stayed an extra hour and I got to go get some coffee. I got to get up. I come and made me a pot of coffee and then I actually went back upstairs and sat around there for a while. And then I went up to Susanna, had dinner.
Okay, one last question.
Oh, thank goodness.
You've loved this, Charlie. What is your favorite thing to eat on the Sagebrush menu?
Probably a double bacon cheeseburger. I mean, we're a sandwich shop. Our business is mostly sandwiches and lunch.
Give us your best advice for life.
Oh, that's a tough one. I don't know. Everybody's so different. I guess you just live life and get you a nice family. Family's everything. That's about all you can leave here, get here. So, and just enjoy while you're here, I guess.
I like that. Well, we won't take any more of your time.
Oh,
But thank you, Charlie.
So, do I get paid?
We just want to thank Charlie for giving us his time this week, doing this interview with him. We really enjoyed learning more about his life. When I think of Charlie, I just think the man, the myth, the legend. And he lives up to everything that represents. He was so fun to learn about. And he gave a lot of credit to his wife and his daughters for keeping the Sage going. He's just a joy. If you ever get a chance to sit down at the Sage and talk with Charlie, do it. You won't regret it. We're so grateful. Charlie is always a sunshine spot in my day as I go and get my Diet Dr. Pepper at the Sage every day. And I'm just humbled by these people in the Valley. Like I said, this is my favorite thing that we do. I really enjoyed it. Haley, your thoughts?
Well, one, like you said, Charlie's a legend. Everyone loves Charlie because he's so real, down to earth, and funny. I've been eating cheese fries there since I was a little girl. Still to this day, I eat them. They are so good. Charlie, his personality, who he is, people love talking to him, is what makes the Sagebrush so successful that all of us go in there daily because the service we get from him. And then we're going to go into our local business spotlight, your last minute auto.
Your new mobile mechanic service right here in town. Last Minute Auto is your local mobile mechanic service right here in town. Whether you need an oil change, brakes, AC work, or even farm and heavy equipment repairs, we make it easy by coming straight to you. Or we can pick up your vehicle and bring it back to you when it's done. No waiting rooms, no rearranging your whole day. Our mission is simple, fast, reliable, local. Before you drive out of town and lose time trying to get into a shop, call Last Minute Auto at 435-503-5692 and let us take the stress out of car care. Support a local business right here at Last Minute Auto.
And I have used them quite a bit. They just come straight to your house. It's so convenient, so reliable. They're great, honest, affordable. So we've done the oil changes. I want to also give them a shout out, and Chrissy as well last week. They're the ones who donate to our event. They were willing to donate to our PTO fundraising for the carnival. So support those businesses that support your kids and support your community.
Now, on to here's what's happening around town this week. First, we want to give a shout out for the angel tree donations. There's an angel tree located at the school, and they are taking money donations until December 15th. You can go to the front office of the school, and they will take your donations there, or it will also be at basketball games. So you can donate and help our students and families right here in our community.
And on December 1st, Monday, tonight, when you hear this, there is our annual tree lighting. It'll start at 6:30 p.m. Meet at the statue at the end of Main Street. Also, after that, you will go to the Tabiona High School where you can have pictures with Santa. There will be soup, rolls, cookies, crafts, and more. So bring a soup and a plate of cookies to share and wear your holiday pajamas because the theme is Polar Express.
Also happening on Tuesday, December 2nd at 6:30 p.m., the Tabiona Ward is hosting their Christmas party. Everyone is welcome. It's located at the church. The theme is Christ the Savior is born. Please join the Tabby Ward for their annual Tabiona Ward Christmas party.
Also, that same night, December 2nd at 7 p.m., is the Park and Rec meeting at the Park Building. On December 3rd, it is the Hannah Ward annual Christmas party at 6:30 p.m. at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Everyone is welcome.
I also hear there's going to be really good food for both ward parties. So if you're hungry Tuesday and Wednesday, just hit up both.
Yeah.
Then on Thursday, December 4th, the Tabiona Tiger girls basketball team takes on Mazer Prep. The freshman game will begin at 4 p.m., JV at 5:30 p.m., and varsity at 7 p.m. Come cheer on the Lady Tigers to victory.
It's a home game, so be there. And December 5th, our cheerleaders are competing in the Cheer Winter Classic at Timpview High School. So come and support the cheerleaders who are always supporting you.
Then, rounding up the weekend, December 6th, Saturday, our Tabiona Tiger boys basketball team takes on the Milford Tigers here at home. Freshman game will begin at 11 a.m., JV at 12:30 p.m., and varsity will start at 2 p.m. Lots of things happening. Come out and support teams and communities.
Okay, and last week's trivia, who and how were the Granddaddy Lakes named? The answer is found in your Centering the Valley Footprints of Tabiona and Hannah, Utah book. And it says it was in the fall of 1905 that George and Olaf King, a man from Virginia, went prospecting. They were hired by some men who wanted to find ore before the white settlers came into the Uinta Basin. So it was that year the area was open for settlement. They rode up to the top of the ridge north of the small settlement, now known as Hannah, and after nearly 10 miles of riding, came to the edge of a high cliff, and there below them was a large lake, and they could see many smaller lakes through the pines. George made the remark that must be the granddaddy of them all. The name stuck. From then on, it was known as the Granddaddy Lake. And it talked about him fishing that day, and it was really great fishing. And I think that's true still to this day if you've ever been over to the Granddaddies.
So, now with that, this week's question is, what year was the welfare farm started in Tabiona? First person to comment on our podcast with the correct answer wins. We will Venmo you a drink at the Sagebrush. And remember, no Googling, just memory, or buy a history book. I just want to leave a thought that we always end with. A few weeks ago, I was teaching boxing to the middle schoolers. Today, as I was attending church, it was brought up again. And then with our interview with Charlie, it comes right back to this. Sometimes stepping out of our comfort zone is exactly what opens the next door. So try things that scare you a little. You never know what amazing things that can come from it. So we never grow in comfort. It's when we're uncomfortable is when we grow. Some things are hard and some things may feel impossible, like starting this podcast, for instance. I thought it was impossible, but we stepped out of our comfort zone, and this is episode 3. Never stay comfortable so that you can grow to the best person that we're designed to become.
And as always, go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
This is Tiger Time.